So we're about the middle of December. And it's been a pretty slow season for me. I think I would have to go back 5 or 6 seasons since I've had one like this. And I know it's not over yet, but in the last 5 or 6 seasons, I've always had an opportunity at harvesting a mature deer. Some have been big, some have been even bigger. I didn't get them all, but I've always had an opportunity. And this year, I haven't. Not to say that I won't yet, but when you get to this point in the season and you haven't had an opportunity yet, you really start questioning a lot of the things that you do. And you really start thinking about change. You know, what do I need to change? What do I need to do different to be able to get an opportunity every year at a mature deer? So the idea of change has been on my mind quite a bit. And it reminded me of a hunt that I had years ago that one of my buddies laid down on film. And I never really knew how to share it because it was an unsuccessful hunt. Basically what happened, and you'll see here pretty quick, I'll show you. October 1st, and we were on one of my favorite stand locations. You know, trying to shoot a doe. That's all we were trying to do and get it on film. And a couple of does had worked through with no shot opportunities, and I was bleating at them trying to just to see if they'd come investigate. And not long after I had bleated, this deer pops over the hill. And immediately I knew it was a good deer. But I didn't realize how good of a deer it was. He comes in and I was able to get a shot. And you'll see what happens here. Me. Me. I have no idea what just happened or what I even shot at.
Are you serious?
I think he's got 4 on 1.
No, I thought you meant like what part of his body you were shooting at.
No. It was a heavy quarter away. When he ran, I see my arrow sticking out of him. Did you see?
Yeah.
I think he went down right there.
I've not seen him leave there yet. I've been watching. Drew. My goodness, dude. Coming. I'm on the first one. Yep. Just like that. Thanks a lot, John. So when I shoot this deer, I thought I just drove it home. And I actually even thought I saw him go down. You know, I saw where my arrow was at. I thought I just buried it into his offside shoulder. And that's why I could see his fletchings. So, you know, we keep hunting, and my buddy shoots that doe. We get down and start trailing, and you know, your mind can be one of your worst enemies. Everything about that blood trail told me that deer was alive. I mean, it just was. It was your typical flesh wound deer blood trail. But you know, I just kept thinking we were gonna find him. But we tracked that deer for probably a mile. You know, he never bedded. No sign of the arrow. You know, really disappointing. And then went back and watched the film and realized how big of a deer it was. You know, we looked and looked for that deer. We got permission to go on to the neighboring landowners. And through talking to people, a trail camera picture emerges a week later with my arrow and this deer. You know, I knew that the chances of me getting him were basically none. But later in the season, there was a guy who was able to get an arrow in that deer and kill him. And as the story goes, my arrow was still in him. And that deer scored 184, I think, was what it scored. It's the biggest deer I've ever shot at. You know, kind of makes me sick to think about it, but that's the reality of it. If you look in that video, you can kind of see when I shot, it deflected. It kind of went high up into that shoulder. And I don't know if it was close to hitting anything or not, but man, I thought about that deer a lot, way more than I should have. I mean, it's just a deer. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to hammer that deer. I'd love to be able to have that deer on my wall, but it's still just a deer. And I thought daily, you know, what could I have done different there? But not only that, after it kind of wore off, I thought, what difference did it really make if I killed that deer? Like I said, I wanted that deer. I still would love another shot at that deer. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but would that really have changed me? You know, if I'd have killed that big deer, it probably would have changed me for the worse, because I probably would have thought I was a way better hunter than I actually am. That's usually what happens when you shoot a big deer. I mean, so much of it is just right place, right time. You gotta do a lot of stuff right, but still, I probably just would have thought that I was way better of a hunter than I am. So it would have changed me for the worse. It got me to thinking about one of the things out there that can change you for the better. Real change. And so many people don't grab onto this outlet that can change them for the better. And that's Jesus Christ. That's something that I have tried to grab onto and have grabbed onto. And I can look back and see that it has made some great changes in me and still will make great changes. And it just got me to thinking about that hunt. In the grand scheme of things, it didn't really matter if I killed that big buck. I missed a lot of big bucks. I missed a lot of opportunities. But I'm glad I didn't miss out on Jesus Christ, because that is a real change. If you listen to the words of Christ and are obedient to them, your life will change for the better. I guarantee it. And I wanted to share that story because I didn't ever have a really good way to share a story where you miss a big old buck. But I think this is the best way that I could think of. When you think about the things in life that really matter, that really change you, Jesus Christ is on top. He will change your life. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.